up, everybody? First things first, if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button and the like button and the notification bell so you can be notified when I upload new videos. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Now, I was going to tell a little story today about when I first got to prison. I went to prison, first off, I went to prison because I was on probation and I had about 30 Percocets in my pocket that my Aunt Sherry had given me. She's passed away now, so I can say her name. She had given them to me that morning because I had been cutting some tile at work and I got hit in the eye with a piece of tile. So that day, I just happened to be going to the doctor because I was injured. I was minding my own business. And I went to the doctor. I went to my Aunt Sherry's. I went to the doctor. I left the doctor. I went and dropped some money off at my daughter's school. And when I was heading to the pharmacy, I come down a 4-lane highway and I seen a trooper on the other lane heading toward us turn his lights on. Excuse me. I seen a Dodge Magnum come flying past me about 100 miles an hour. And then I seen the trooper hit his lights. He came down and went a little bit past us and did a U-turn, and I pulled into a store just to get out of his way because I had no driver's license. I was on probation for 10 years, and I had already done about 6 of those years. And I really did not want to get caught with these Percocets in my pocket. So I pulled over into the store, and he pulled in behind me. And he comes up and he tells me that he's pulled me over for my window tint. I said, "Sir, you got the wrong guy." I said, "I wasn't speeding. That Dodge Magnum sped around me." He informed me that he pulled me over for my window tint because it was too dark. He was also training a rookie officer, so he was being a real dickhead, if you know the type that I'm talking about. So he pulls his little meter out like he's pulling out a bazooka and twirls it up and comes up and puts it on my window and says, "Yep, they're illegal." I said, "Okay, well, I just bought this car, sir. The whole time the engine's running." I said, "I just bought this car. It's not even in my name yet." And he said, "Well, I'm going to need you to give me your driver's license and step out of the car." At this point, my mind instantly goes back to the 30 Percocet tints in my pocket, which, by the way, equals a trafficking charge. And I don't know if you've ever been on probation or know anything about it, but you do not want a trafficking charge when you're already on 10 years of probation. It's never a good idea. So I made a split-second decision. I said, "Sir, can I reach into the glove compartment and get my license, get my registration, my insurance and stuff?" He said, "Yeah, that's no problem." So I didn't want to get shot. Even though I'm not black, they will shoot me too because I'm poor, and let's face it, I dress a little bit urban, and I listen to rap music a lot, so I get stereotyped too, guys. Don't think that white privilege is a real thing for all white people, because it is not, and I can assure you. Anyways, back to the subject. He gave me permission to reach over to the glove box, and about halfway through that reach, I snatched the car and drive and hauled ass. We were in the parking lot of a store, so I hauled ass out of the parking lot. I took a right into a neighborhood. I went down, I took the first right, the first left, the first right, the first left, the first right, the first left. I weaved my way back to a corner. He came in and went straight through the neighborhood, and the neighborhood went in and it made a horseshoe and came back out to the same main road that we had initially been on, the 4-lane highway where he hit his lights. I went and weaved back, and I circled back around and came up to the exact same place that I went in, knowing that he had gone all the way around the horseshoe, thinking that's where I went. And keep in mind, I was in a 1999 Ford Crown Victoria Police Interceptor that had been bought at an auction. So it was a police car as well, and he was in one of the Dodge Chargers, the Florida Highway Patrol Dodge Chargers. So as I came back up to the same entrance I went in, he was coming up to the other entrance of back at the main highway on the other end of the horseshoe. And I looked down and seen him, and he seen me, and he hit his lights again. I said, "Oh shit." I hauled ass out. I took a left. I went down and took a right on a little road that cuts over to another road which is a pretty main highway, but it's only 35 miles an hour. It's a canopy road, and it's very sharp curves with a lot of 30-mile-an-hour curves. I came off of that road basically like Bo and Luke do, and was hauling ass, and I came down to Capitol Circle, and it kind of slants in and angles into the road. I came hauled ass in there, and when I went to go across Capitol Circle, I was airborne because of the hill. And mid-air, I seen a semi-truck coming, so I hit the brakes in the air. As I hit the ground, the brakes were already locked, so I slid, barely missed his trailer. There was another truck coming. I punched it again, got across the road, went up Old Bainbridge, and I weaved all the way around these cars, and they were still behind me up until a point. I don't know exactly where I lost them, but as I got onto where the road straightens up, there was one more turn. This is after about 7 miles of running from these assholes. I make a right onto 157 where my mom lives, and I get all the way down. I take a right on my mom's little dirt road, and about 15 yards in, the fucking car dies, completely dies. I jump out, and I'm so freaking out, it won't turn back on. I don't even know that I've lost these dickheads yet. I think they're right behind me. So I get out, and I take off running as fast as I can, and I get back to my mom's house, and I get in my mom's house, and I'm so nervous, I just open the back door and puke everywhere. I called my mom and was like, Mom, you're not gonna believe this. She said, what? And I said, well, I just got in a high-speed chase from a state trooper, and I'm standing in your living room now, and my car's blown up at the beginning of the neighborhood, and I'm pretty sure it's surrounded by cops. She said, after being silent for about 5 or 6 seconds, she said, you've got to be shitting me. I said, Mom, I'm not shitting you. So I hung up with her, ran back up there. I got some guy to stop and pull my car back there. I realized that they hadn't found me yet. So I get up there to the car, and a lady pulls up, and she's trying to tell me the battery's dead, and I'm like, no ma'am, it's not dead, but I don't think your car's gonna pull it. At this point, it's only been 20 minutes, so I know the cops are not there at my car, but I think that maybe they're like still looking around. So this woman's wanting to sit here and talk. She has no idea of what just happened at all. So she wants to try to jump it off. I hook the jumper cables up, let her try it real quick. I said, see ma'am, the engine's blown. It's clicking and making all kind of noise when I try to turn it over. So she goes about her business, and the other guy comes back and lives behind my mom. He's a younger guy, but he's got a big 4-wheel drive truck, and he pulls up, and I'm like, hey man, can you please, tie a chain to this car and please pull this car back to my mom's? He said, yeah man, no problem. He said, man, you still doing tattoos? I said, yeah, sometimes, yeah. And he said, man, I sleeve over here, man, I just want to get, I was thinking about, and I said, listen man, I ain't trying to be rude or nothing, but like, can we please, I'd really like to get this car back here to the back of my mom's property. Like, it's super important, I'm late, can we please just do it? He's like, yeah man, no problem. So he's like digging this rope out, and he's pulling it out, and he's like getting this knot out, and I'm just standing here literally chewing the tip of my fingers off. I finally was like, hey, can I help you with that? He grabbed it and untangled it, tied it to the front, and he's like, please pull this fucking car back here. So he pulls the car back here, and it's screwed. So I pop the hood, take the battery out, take the hubcaps off, peel the window tint off, which luckily had only been on there for about a week, and it came right off. Sprayed water on the ground, made dirt splash up on the tires, put leaves on the windshield in the back like it had been sitting there. And I went back to work Monday, and my sister calls me and she says, Terry, she lived right down the road from my mom, like on the same neighborhood. She said, Terry, I'm at mom. She said, I seen some troopers coming down here, so I knew what it was about. And I came down here. She said, they're fixing to take your car, and they're going to charge you with fleeing and eluding an officer and attempted murder because he said you tried to run over his trainee. I'm freaking out. I said, no, I said, attempted murder. I said, I ain't trying to run over that guy. He was standing beside the car. I said, I said, she said, well, hold on just a second. She said, hold on, let me call you back. So I'm freaking out, and this house that I'm doing a side job, I'm a tattoo artist, but I also do home remodeling on the side when tattooing is slow. This house I'm working on is directly across from the Florida Highway Patrol headquarters in Tallahassee. So I'm freaking out, and I think that they know where I'm at. Like, I think that they're tracking my phone at this point. They're watching me through satellite, unicorns, you name it, heat-seeking missiles. I think they're everywhere. So I'm freaking out, and I leave. I don't have a vehicle now because I just blew mine up. I got dropped off that morning. I had my mom. I stayed down at my sister's house and had my mom drop me off. So I took off walking. My sister calls me back on the cell phone. She said, "You're not going to believe this." I said, "What?" She said, "I was just standing back there." She said, "And the trooper came back there and looked at your car and said, 'This isn't the car that ran from us.' And even radioed in on his radio and said, 'Cancel the tow truck. This is not the suspect car.'" At this point, I'm like, "What?" She said, "Yeah." She said, "They canceled the tow truck. Said that wasn't the car that they were looking for. That's not the car that ran from them." I said, "Thank God." He said, I said, "So they're not going to charge me?" She said, "Oh, no, they're still charging you." He said that you must have the tag that they had on record on a stolen car stashed in the woods, and that this is the original car that it belongs on. So I said, "Oh, so I'm still being charged with all this other stuff?" She said, "Yeah, that's what he said." She said, "I don't think they're going to charge you with the attempted murder," because when he said that, I asked the trainee if he really tried to hit him, and he had a dumb look on his face. I said, "No, that dumb look's just like a natural. It's natural for state troopers to have that." But she said that his demeanor, she knew that did not really happen, and I told her that she should have already known that when I told her. Anyways, so the next day, I got rid of the car completely. Matter of fact, later on when they went to try, my lawyer tried to find the car through scrap yards and salvage yards, and there's no trace of it anywhere. And that really helped me out in my trial, or heading towards my trial, but that's a whole nother episode. So stay tuned, and next time we'll talk about my 13 months in jail waiting for a sentence, and then my time after that in Florida Department of Corrections. And I've got this and many, many other stories that are not crime related. I have some very cool. So guys, please hit the subscribe button below and the notification bell so I can notify you when I put up more of these wild stories about my life. I promise you they do get better. If you weren't entertained by that story or found it to be boring or dull, then you've obviously had a pretty crazy life, because most people find high-speed chases from the cops pretty entertaining. But that being said, please like and subscribe, and stay tuned for much more. And kids, if you're watching, don't start smoking, please. Stories too, but I wanted to get this off my chest just to let people know the dirtiest part about me, so we could get that out of the way.